Sí, Kino, yo te entiendo lo que tú me estás hablando. Yo te entiendo lo que tú me estás hablando, es correcto. Nosotros no somos un canal de content que está vendiéndole relojes a niños de 3 años de $50,000. Tú tienes razón. You're right. Nosotros no hicimos ese tipo de content. Háblame, pero háblame. Sí, sí, yo estoy live ya, I'm live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm doing this video is because Sweet Kid Kino, which I was just talking to him, Sweet Kid Kino just got back from his vacation from New York City with his girlfriend. He's back. And he was telling me that while he was in New York, he was getting some texts from different subscribers of ours, new ones, asking us about our content. And listen to me, guys. If you're looking for content that is selling watches to a 3-year-old young boy for $50,000, we don't do that kind of content in this channel. You know, what we do in this channel is basically give you what's really happening out there in the Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market. You know, with these hucksters and hoodwinks, they've been trying to flim-flam you and fleece you. We're doing this because we feel that we should do it, help you guys out from getting fleeced and flim-flam by these hoodwinks and hucksters. So if you're looking for that kind of content of a channel that sells a $50,000 watch to a 3-year-old boy, we don't do that here. You're in the wrong place. What we give here is facts, the real thing. You know, we are like that guy. You know that hungry hippo. You know, Mr. Mugu says we're not kind of a BS kind of channel. We don't BS here. We'll give you what's going on. If you want that kind of content, you have to go to Big Pun and Heavy D out of Dallas, Texas. You know, those two big gentlemen, the twin brothers. You know, always dressed in black. You know. They specialize in selling watches to 3-year-old kids. Unbelievable but true, ladies and gentlemen. I'm giving you what it is for real. If you want that kind of content, you have to go see, Big Pun and Heavy D. Always dressed in black. They do the content of selling watches to 3-year-old kids. Also, if you're looking for a channel that does sweepstakes and raffles and giveaways, we don't do that here. You need to go see the two Toddler Body Brothers. They specialize in raffles, giveaways, sweepstakes, and they also do always, the clone watches, Rolex watches, fake watches. We don't do that kind of content here. These guys specialize in that. If you're looking for that, if you're looking for giveaways, and sweepstakes and raffles, those two Toddler brothers do that. The two Toddler Body Brothers, they do that kind of content, but we don't do it here. Okay, guys? We don't do that. We don't do it here. And you guys like that, like the channel that sells watches to the 3-year-old kids for $50,000. You like the gentleman that does the sweepstakes and the giveaways and the raffles. That's fine that you like that. And you also give them Snapchats and Super Chats. You like that kind of content, that's fine. Then this channel is not for you, because we're not here BSing nobody. We're not sketching anybody here, We're not hoodwinking nobody here. We're not fleecing nobody here. We're not flim-flamming nobody here, Maybe this channel is not for you because we're very, very truthful in what we're doing. There's a gentleman that follows this channel. His name is Ed Blair. And he says that, he can't even say it better than that. He says, this is a public service watch announcement channel. Unbelievable, that Ed Blair. He says that. He always says that this is a public watch channel, public service announcement channel. That Ed is unbelievable the way he says it. He's great, I think I'm going to put him with Kino and his team too. Unbelievable. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're also looking for stage content, we don't do that here in this channel either, We don't do stage content. For that, you need to go see Deputy Droopy Butthole Eyes with the Tweety Bird haircut and his cronies, you know, Jiminy Cricket with the Chia Pet spray can hair, Dora the Explorer, the Amish honey bun maker, and the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown. These people specialize in losing your boxes via FedEx, DHL, UPS. You know, they stage all that. These guys are the original Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market channels. And they specialize in that kind of content. We don't specialize in that kind of stuff here. You know, we're for real here. No BS. Again, like that gentleman says, you know, that Mr. Magoo, Hungry Hippo, you know, he says he's not that no kind of a guy, but BS kind of a guy. Whatever he says, you know what, unbelievable. So we're trying to tell you what we do here. We just give you what's happening out there, what you need to hear. Watch prices so you don't get fleeced and flim-flam. And you don't give away your children's tuition money to these hoodwinks. These guys are a bunch of cockroaches. These guys are a bunch of cockroaches. They would do anything in the world if they could pull the plug on no other than Sweet Kick Kino's channel. This is not my channel. This is Sweet Kick Kino's channel. I'm just the voice. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, but true. I'm just trying to tell you guys a story. You know, I'm trying to tell you a story. So if you're looking for that kind of content, stage content, you have to go to Deputy Droopy Butthole Eyes with the Tweety Bird haircut. He'll give you that kind of content. And then on top of that, that he gives you these fake content, you guys give him a super chat, a Snapchat, you know? Because that's how it is, you know? In this world that we're living in, it's in style, lying and getting flim-flam and hoodwink and all that good stuff and grifted, you know, all of that, you know? By these Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market channels. You guys like that. But people like me and Sweet Kick Kino, we get the short end of the stick. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to keep on crawling, I mean, do you want to crawl with the rats or you want to fly with the eagles? You know? We're the eagles. They're the rats. A bunch of cockroaches over there. Understand me? Also, if you're looking for a channel, that's always flipping coins in the air, you know, unbelievable, flipping coins. If you like that kind of stuff, you have to go to 47th Street in Canal, over there, somewhere in Canal Street, 47th from New York City. You know, they got this guy there with size skin hair, and he has hair in the top, and he has a man bun in the back. He's always flipping coins over there. If you want that kind of content, you have to go to New York City. And then you have his sidekick that he's dressing up with a kangaroo hat, and he has Van Cleef chains and bracelets, and he's unbelievable. You know, he's unbelievable. The sidekick, you know, he's another one there. And you got these guys over there on 47th Street that all day long, what they're doing is flipping coins. And maybe that's what you like. And that's all right with us. We don't care if you like flipping coins. We don't care if you like stage content. We don't care if you like raffles, sweepstakes, giveaway content. And we don't care if you like, you know, channels that sell watches to 3-year-old boys for $50,000. We don't care about that. We're here to give you a public service watch announcement on what's happening out there with these people who have been fleecing you for too long until Sweet Kick Kino came along. And Sweet Kick Kino's back. Sweet Kick Kino says he prepared this in the plane while he was flying from, ¿dónde fue, La Guardia o JFK? No te, dime la verdad, mano. No me hagas así. Sweet Kick Kino's unbelievable. Okay, La Guardia. You know, he was flying from La Guardia to MIA, you know, Miami International Airport. And he wrote this in the airplane. He wrote all this down, you know. If you're looking for that kind of content, you're in the wrong channel. You know, you're in the wrong channel. We don't do that here. You know, we don't play that game with you guys. You know, so there's a lot of people asking that if we sell watches. Well, let me explain to you something. I have said this many, many times in our channel. We don't sell watches to no one. and we don't buy nobody's watch either. You do that on your own. We don't want to be responsible from buying your watch or selling your watch. We don't do that kind of stuff here. I'm telling you, we are a public service watch announcement channel. We're here to give you facts on what's happening out there. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been telling you for a long time, the watch market is dead. No matter what these flim-flammers keep on telling you and keep on pouncing in the head with that the watch market is up and running, ladies and gentlemen, the watch market is dead. There's no more meat left in the bone. All these boutiques out there, you know, from Rolex to Patek Philippe to AP to Richard Mille to Vacheron, they're starving. No hay más dinero en el mercado de los relojes. La situación está caótica. You don't know what I said? You Google it. Esto está jodido, papá. Tú no le sigas creyendo a estas personas que el mercado de los relojes está bueno. You cannot continue believing these people that the watch market is up and running and everything is beautiful and rosy. The watch market is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. You know, you cannot be skipping around through life like a rabbit. You know, like this rabbit right here. You cannot continue skipping through life like a rabbit, you know? You can't. And then again, you guys continue giving away your children's tuition money. Rolex watches are dropping so much that I won't buy another watch now, no more. I have so many Rolex that I'm going to stop buying watches now. Rolex, AP, Pateks, things are bad. Está jodida la cosa, papi, no hay chavo. No sean pendejos. You don't know what pendejo is? You Google it. No sean pendejos. La situación está jodida, papi. Stop giving away your children's tuition money. I'm telling you, I know what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot continue doing that. I'm telling you, you guys are mesmerized with these channels that BS you. You know, with fake content. You know, a three-year-old boy buying a $50,000 watch. Two body toddler brothers giving away and doing sweepstakes and doing raffles. You like that kind of stuff. And you guys sending in $2, $1, $3. Give me 20 tickets. Come on, guys. Come on. Stop living that wet dream, man. Ustedes están en las pajas. ¿Tú sabes lo que son las pajas? ¿Tú sabes lo que es una paja? You don't know what paja is? You Google it. But I'm going to tell you. Paja is hay. You're sleeping on the hay. You know, on the farm with the horse. You're sleeping there. Como los huele bicho. You're giving your children's tuition money away. You're maintaining these flim-flammers lifestyle. You got to stop maintaining these flim-flammers lifestyle who have been hoodwinking you for the longest until Sweet Kid Kino came along. Unbelievable Sweet Kid Kino. He's unbelievable. He's a smart man. He's a genius. He has rattled and disrupted the Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market channels and dealers. Get it through your head. Get it through your head. The watch market is dead. Unbelievable. Sweet Kid Kino. And Sweet Kid Kino has a new girlfriend. I said it wrong. Perdóname, Kino, perdóname. I take it back. Sweet Kid Kino has a new girlfriend and he's about to get engaged. And he needs your help. He needs your help. I've been helping him for the last... ¿Qué tiempo yo llevo ya en este canal ya contigo? 3 años, ¿verdad? Kino went like this to me. Unbelievable, that Sweet Kid Kino. He went like this to me. Unbelievable. That means 3 years. So I've been giving him my free service to Sweet Kid Kino. For how long has it been? For 3 years for free. And he says that you people out there own him because you've been giving Snapchats, Super Chats to all these hoodwinks who have been fleecing you out of your children's money. Unbelievable, but true. I mean, you guys got to stop that, ladies and gentlemen. Esto está malo, papi. Esto está feo. Esto está color de hormiga. color de hormiga. You know what that means? You Google it. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. Kino, yo no puedo seguir en esta pendeja. A esta gente lo estamos ayudando. Le estamos explicando los precios de los relojes. Y son tan huelebichos que siguen atrás de Deputy Droopy Butthole to the Tweety Bird haircut. Increíble. Increíble. Y atrás de Big Pun and Heavy D. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you one more. If you're looking for content of watch dealers that open boxes of consignment watches that you guys send them, we don't do that. You know, those two Jehovah's Witness brothers out of Dallas, Texas, too. You know, the Jehovah's Witness brothers, they're always opening boxes and they rate the boxes between 1 and 10 on a scale. You know, those two Jehovah's Witness brothers are always opening consignment boxes of, you know, of spoof balls. You guys are a bunch of spoof balls. You guys are still giving away your watches on consignment to these two Jehovah's Witness brothers that open boxes and say, este es un número 1, este es un 2, 3, ¿no era aquí, no? Que eso es increíble. Increíble. This is not the right way of doing things. I repeat, this is not the right way of doing things. You guys are still giving your watches in consignment to these flim flammers. You know, those two Jehovah's Witnesses, they do that show. They do a little skit, you know, of opening boxes. Oh, this one has too much peanuts, popcorn, this, that. And you guys fall for that trick, and you guys are sending them your watches for free. You know, that channel, they got robbed, you know, they got pistol whipped, and they lost like $1 million in watches. And today, Kino, esa gente le pagaron ya a la gente esa de Texas que le robaron los relojes. Sweet Kid Kino just went to me. He doesn't know. Unbelievable, that Sweet Kid Kino, but it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to give you some information. But it's getting harder and harder to give you this information because you guys, you know, look at this. The greatest, most honest, and organic watch channel on YouTube. That's Ed Blair. He's unbelievable. Eddie, I love you, Eddie. You're my friend, Eddie. Me and you are like peas and carrots. Sweet Kid Eddie. Unbelievable. We got another sweet kid. His name is Eddie. Unbelievable. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot continue living the way you're living. You guys have a lot of salt water in your eyes. Tienen agua salada. You know, salt water. You know, when you go to the beach, you go to Orchard Beach or Jones Beach in New York, you know, you get water, salt water in your eyes, and you can't see. You're blind. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot continue maintaining these flim flammers lifestyle. You cannot continue maintaining their red gold fast car, their Louis Vuitton Nike sneakers, their ripped jeans, their sushi dinner, their steak dinner with salt. You know that guy with the white t-shirt that does that kind of stuff? You cannot do that no more. Their Montclair sweaters, their Supreme hoodies. You gotta stop doing that. I'm not gonna be here forever, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. I might just one day pull the plug myself and I'm gone. I'm gonna leave Sweet Kid with his channel all by himself. But Sweet Kid Kino has a problem. He doesn't speak English. So he's going to have to do. Tú vas a tener que ser hecho en español si yo me voy. I'm an international man. I have to fly around the world with my wife. You know, my wife loves me and I love my wife, you know. Unbelievable. My wife is a beautiful person. You know, she's always giving me presents. She already got me a present, an early Christmas present for me because she says I'm a real good husband. So. But you guys got to help out Sweet Kid Kino, ladies and gentlemen. I feel, you know, Kino has had a rough life. You know, Kino was a dangerous man at one time in his life. No, Kino, yo no dije eso. Yo dije que tú eras una persona fuerte, you know, fuerte. He was a very strong armed man, you know, he was strong, you know, it was... You know, it's unbelievable being so young the way he was and, you know, the things that he did. But anyway, Sweet Kid Kino today reads a lot of book on philosophy. He's a very smart man, and and him, by looking at different pages of channels, he's learned about the watch market. He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot continue maintaining these flim flammers. You cannot continue being that way. I also want to say we have a lot of cheap knockoffs from the real thing. People, they use my phrases, my catchphrases. They want to use tomato can, they want to use window licker, lollipop sucker, Muppet boiler room. Listen to me. They want to use my name and Kino's name. They use Juan and Kino. We love that. Anybody that copies you, that means you're doing something right. So I applaud that gentleman. His name is Eugene. Eugene the Chia Pet, Las Vegas flashing vagrant walker. He's walking all over the place. He's like around 5 feet 4 inches with very, very petite little hands, silky hands. He's Eugene. You see him, his hairline is back here. He's unbelievable. And he's always using my catchphrases and what I say. He always copies everything that I do. If I say hungry hippo, he'll say hungry hippo. If I say Mr. Magoo, he'll say Mr. Magoo. So I'm happy that he is doing all that, because that means that me and Sweet Kid Kino are doing something right. Help him out. Help out Eugene out. Eugene the Chia Pet. He has fake subscribers, fake views, fake likes, fake comments. And he has another sidekick by the name of Green Rush. There's always with him running around. He's unbelievable, that Green Rush. And they're always good people. These guys are real good people, but you need to help them out. You need to help them out because they're desperate. They want to keep on using everything that I do, even the way I comb my hair. Unbelievable, these guys. Unbelievable. So there it is. Eugene has zero class and deeply, oh my God, I don't want to say that word. He said, closet? I don't know, something like that, So you heard it from Ed Blair. So I'm just letting you know I'm still a good guy, that I'm telling you what this gentleman, Eugene, the Chia Pet, Las Vegas, flashing vagrant walker, wants to be like me and Sweet Kid Kino, using all our catchphrases. Tomato can, window licker, lollipop sucker, you know what I'm saying? All these things, spoof ball, Muppet boiler room, all that. And I welcome him, because that means that I'm doing something good. And he wants to be exactly like me. Unbelievable, but true. But ladies and gentlemen, going back, Sweet Kid Kino is planning to get married. And Sweet Kid Kino needs all your help. And whatever you can help him out with. I'm not here as a beggar for Sweet Kid Kino. I'm just telling you what Sweet Kid Kino tells me to say. 50 cents, a quarter, whatever you want to send to him, you can do that. That'll help him out with, napkins and, paper plates. Unbelievable. He's getting married, right, guys? So I'm telling you already, be careful with the two Jehovah Witness brothers that they do that skid of opening boxes and rate them from 1 to 10 that you guys are sending out in consignment watches. Stop being dodo birds, ladies and gentlemen. The watch market is dead. I'm also going to give you a watch market update on one watch. On one watch. Y se lo voy a decir Kino. Que se joda. Se lo voy a decir para que sepan ellos también. Esta gente son unos gilipollas. Son unos cochinos. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a watch market update on a watch. It is a Rolex white gold Daytona. Rolex white gold Daytona, reference number 116509. It's completely white gold, The casing, the bracelet, all that stuff. The casing, the bracelet is all white gold. I call this Daytona the Captain America. Unbelievable. It has a blue dial. And it has the Captain America colors on the gauges, red, white, and blue. Unbelievable, this Rolex white gold Daytona with a blue dial, Captain America. Reference number 116509. This watch has a retail price of $41,600. And this is the stepbrother of the John Mayer. Yeah! Unbelievable, the watch might be dead. And this is, like I said, the stepbrother of the John Mayer, the yellow gold with the green dial. This watch at one moment was $80,000. Unbelievable. In the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market. Unbelievable. $80,000. We're talking about used slider condition material watches in this channel. Used slider condition material watches in this channel. Don't get that confused. And we're going to have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that Rolex Daytona white gold with a blue dial, Captain America. Reference number 116509. Retail $41,600. Don't pay more than $33,000 and done! Watch might be dead. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this helps you out. Remember, we don't buy and we don't sell no watches. We don't want your watches. And we don't want to sell you no watches, ladies and gentlemen. We do this because we're stupid like that. We don't want you to be no more lollipop suckers. We don't want you to be no more window lakers, tomato cans, and crayon eaters. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, we also have a private watch group. It's under my name, Juan Nieves. Scroll down to about, and you'll find there Opus and Time watches. And maybe, if you request to join it, maybe Sweet Kid Kino let you in. Kino, ¿quiere decir algo? No quiere decir nada. ¿Por qué, mano? He's in love. He's in La La Land. Unbelievable. He's in love. And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to, subscribe, share, and like my channel. And like me and Sweet Kid Kino say every week, take good care of yourselves and brush your hair. This channel is a luxury market public service announcement channel. Unbelievable at it. I love you, Ed. Unbelievable at it. Sweet Kid Ed.